Check out FlipsideGaming.com for all your gaming needs. Use the promo code HEROES to save 10% on all orders over $10 and support the channel at the same time. Hey there, this is John from Heroes and Legends, and welcome to our special Picks of the Month edition of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch for August. However, we're not going to just do one Picks of the Month this month. We're going to do 4 episodes because rotation is coming up soon for Standard. And we're going to spotlight each of the 4 sets that will be rotating out and talk about some of the key cards you might want to pick up as they get cheaper in the coming weeks. Now, since this is the first in the series this month, this will go out a little bit earlier to gold patrons. So by the time you see this on YouTube, a little time has passed. I don't expect the prices to shift all that much though, so just keep that in mind. But with that being said, let's get into it as we explore Kaladesh. We're going to begin and go through in color pie order with Ceremonious Rejection. 50 cents here, real cheap card. Now, some of these cards, adjust expectations. This one isn't uncommon. There's tons of copies out there. It's going to be a long time before this goes up in value. And this video isn't about trying to make money or anything like that because the print run, especially for Kaladesh, it was very, very high. However, this is a card that sees a lot of modern play on its sideboards. It answers a lot of issues that are out there. Affinity decks, some of the things Tron decks will do, especially the Eldrazi variety. So this is a card that you're finding more and more in a number of different decks. For 50 cents, feels like a steal to me. Padim, Council of Innovation, 46 cents. Now, a lot of the cards we're going to talk about today show up in some form in that mono blue artifact deck, which is popular right now in Standard. Because of that, it has maybe made some of these cards escalate in price a little bit. This one, though, Padim is still only 46 cents. Sees play in some different modern artifact builds as well, but what I really like about this card is it's playing Commander in artifact decks that are running blue. Maybe it could be your Commander, but even if it's not, it definitely is an awesome support card in those situations. Again, feels like a steal for the price of 46 cents. Paradoxical Outcome at only 57 cents. Another card that does see play right now in Standard, but even so, you're barely paying anything for it, and it's a rare. This has seen extensive play in Vintage, as a matter of fact, ever since it came out. So those Paradoxical Outcome decks have been popular there. A little modern play, too, in like Pure Steel Combo. And that's not a real popular modern deck, but who knows, in the future, as more pieces are added to modern, that deck could get better. If that's the case, you're definitely going to want Paradoxical Outcome. Chandra Torch of Defiance. You knew this had to be here. $13.57. Still seeing extensive Standard play, so that price is maybe a little higher than it will be in a few weeks when we get closer to rotation. So this is one to keep an eye on before you pull the trigger on it, but it's a good card to have. It sees a little legacy play, sometimes in Monorun Prison. Modern play is really impressive, not only in Monorun Prison, but also land destruction decks and a few other places too. So this is one that you're going to want in your collection, no doubt. Blossoming Defense, another uncommon here, only 67 cents. Key part of the Infect decks, though, now in Modern. Nissa Vital Force at $5. Now, this one doesn't see as much play as some of the other cards we're talking about today, but you'll find this sometimes as like a one-of in sideboards and like Celestia Company decks in Modern. Also, even in Legacy, like Maverick decks, sometimes one out of the sideboard. So I think it's worth having at least a copy in your collection. I would wait a little longer on this one, though, because this will come down some more in the coming weeks. Kambal Council of Allocation at 89 cents. Here's another one that just feels like a steal to me. First off, this does see a lot of Vintage play because of the nature of Vintage. Beyond that, you're going to find this in a number of modern builds, again, out of the sideboard. But some big modern builds are running this right now. Humans, which is a huge deck, very popular, as well as Mardu Pyromancer, another really popular deck in Modern, running this right out of the sideboard. So sometimes it's like 2 copies, but still, considering how many players play those decks, that's kind of a big deal. Not to mention, it's a fine Commander card, too. All of this for under $1, yeah, definitely get your copies of this one. Saheeli Rai, $4.79. So Copycat is a thing in Modern, although it's not super great right now in the meta. Doesn't mean that it won't be better in the future as more cards are added to that environment. So I do think just for that reason alone, it's good to have copies of this. Aside from that, though, this is another strong Commander card. Aetherflux Reservoir, $3.31. For me, this is about Commander. There's a lot of Commander decks that can take advantage of this particular mechanic. And yes, it is a little expensive now, again, because of those mono blue artifact decks in Standard. I'd wait a week or 2 on this one and see where it goes. But I think this is another one you're going to want in your collection, especially if you play Commander. Aetherworks Marvel, $1.30. Now, this one's more of a long-term spec for me, and I do think this will go down more over time. But Energy's a great mechanic, and they pushed it a little too much this time around. We saw that obviously in Standard for a while. But I think it will come back at some point. It will probably come back in a weaker fashion. But when it does, it's going to add more cards to that particular archetype. And then maybe you'll see a modern energy deck or something like that. Or maybe it will become even better in Commander or what have you. So I think because of those reasons, if you can find this for like $1 or less, like why not just have some copies? Foundry Inspector, 71 cents. Another uncommon here, but a pretty cheap one. Vintage Shops decks will run this already, and it's also another great Commander card to help out with those artifact decks. Panharmonicon, $3.99. Maybe this goes down slightly, but I do think the price of this has been propped up by the Commander players, and I don't think that's going to change very much. So again, this is one of those cards that if it doesn't get reprinted, maybe 10 years down the road, is like a $25 Commander card or something like that. That would not shock me at all. Great card in that particular format. Inventor's Fair, $3.25. Now, this one's a little more expensive, and yes, will probably go down a little bit over the next couple of weeks, but you're going to want copies of this one because this is awesome in a lot of different places right now. Most notably, Modern Ironworks combo decks running this right in the main. You're going to find this even in like Legacy Affinity decks sometimes as a one of. Enough decks will want to run this card. It's very, very solid. Finally, the Fast Lands. Look at the prices here. Blooming Marsh, $5.62. Botanical Sanctum, $3.78. Concealed Courtyard, $3.09. Inspiring Vantage, $2.26. Spire Bluff Canal, $6.85. Now, some of these are still seeing pretty extensive standard play, so I'd wait a couple weeks on pricing and just kind of see what happens with these cards before I pull the trigger on them. But you're going to want these in your collection. They all already see modern play in some capacity. That could ebb and flow in the months and years to come, obviously, depending on what decks are popular. But don't get it wrong, these cards will always see some amount of play. I mean, look at the Fast Lands that were in the last cycle. Those are very popular. These are along those same lines. There's a lot more of these printed, no doubt, because again, Kaladesh had a big print run. They won't go up in value probably as quickly, but they will go up in value. They're just too much of a key card for a lot of modern mana bases, and that will continue in the future, I have no doubt. Alright, with that being said, those are my picks for some of the Kaladesh cards that you want to look out for as we move closer to rotation. Now, let me know in the comments below some of the cards maybe we didn't talk about today from Kaladesh that you're thinking of picking up and why. But until next time, hey, thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and have a great day. Hey, thanks for watching. This video is made possible by the generous support of viewers like you on Patreon. Check out the description below for links to our Patreon page as well as our Amazon affiliate store, where a small percentage of all sales will also help support the channel. Finally, if you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any new videos on Heroes and Legends. Talk to you again soon, and have a great day.